so glad that you could join us for a wonderful, magical, mysterious, adventurous, and slightly preposterous adventure. I will be your narrator and Professor Fern Spindlewheel today. So glad that we are able to join you and you are able to join us for this exciting tale. Want to let everybody know that we are playtesting something very new here at Proficiency Bonus. We've got some kids on Brooms, which actually was just released last week. Fancy that. Today I'm joined by some wonderful and glorious friends of mine who are preparing for yet another wonderful year here at Weeping Terrace School for the Magically Gifted. So, I first want to start out telling our tale with our characters. As we start with our wonderful Medea Wilde. Medea is excited to start her next year at Weeping Terrace. She stands comfortably in the heart of New Orleans, in City Park, awaiting the arrival of the duck boat. She's standing in a partitioned line underneath a striped of red, yellow, and blue tarp that hangs overhead, cascading an interesting shadow amongst all the students that seem to be standing in the line. Medea, you step forward and you head towards the gate as you watch this large, duck-shaped boat start floating to you, and the strange thing about it is there's no one driving it. It just seems to be floating itself. And it pulls up, and there's an individual who is sitting by the gate, and you see a family waiting in line ahead of you. And they walk up, and the father's like, "Oh, how you doing today, sir? I'm looking for the place that we purchased tickets for this ride." "No ticket?" "Sorry, no ride. You must have a ticket to board this boat." "Well, but that's what I asked you, sir. Where do we get tickets?" "That's not my job." "Oh, right. I'm sorry, Philip. I don't..." And then he holds this little boy's hand, and the family just moves off to the side. Medea, you've seen this before. Muggles do oftentimes, although it's occasionally rare, try to get in line for this ride, but they're always turned away for not having the ticket, which you look down in your hand are happily holding the ticket to Weeping Terrace. Medea, will you introduce your character and talk a little bit about her to our audience?
All right. I'm Medea Wilde, and I am standing there dressed in a full, just a black robe at the moment. However, I have a brown headband on, standing there with my two parents who are seeing me off, my two guardians, my grandfather, Michael Wilde, and my mother, Elizabeth Wilde, who are standing there next to me. I look not much like my mother, but more like my grandfather, who has, I have actually pretty tall. You can tell that I'm still a child. I'm still almost like in the teen years, but however, I'm pretty tall, standing at least 5'8", kind of taller than my mother. And I have woolly black hair that is done in multiple afro puffs on the side of my head that's obscuring my ears. And you see that there are blonde highlights in her hair. I have brown skin, and I have very deep brown eyes. I'm standing there with my suitcase, and I'm just looking around and just so hopeful for this year at Weeping Terrace. Um, my grandfather stands very proudly, and he is chatting to me about don't embarrass the family. Make sure everything is show them exactly what the Wild family can do. I have a lot to live up to.
Fantastic. Um, the man at the gate kind of looks down towards your ticket and says, "Oh, Medea, good to see you once again. I'll take that for you." And reaches out to grab the ticket. And she,
It's nice to see you again.
it's always a pleasure. All aboard, please. Would you let me take that? And he points to you like this massive trunk that you have packed up for your journey.
Sure.
And he takes it, and you watch him go onto the duck boat, and he looks down and just like kicks twice onto the floorboards of this thing, and then this door just kind of opens up into the floor, and he kind of just gently sets this this large trunk down inside, and then just taps it twice with his foot again, and the trap door kind of closes underneath. And you can see that there are other people, other students that you recognize in line with their families, and you can see the tickets are being exchanged, and they're all getting aboard this massive duck boat with this huge. It looks like this enormous rubber duck that's been hollowed out on the inside and has like a wooden floor. And there's no seats. It's almost like everybody just goes in and like stands as you guys are kind of crowding in onto this duck boat. Eventually, the duck boat does start to float away, and you guys all watching your families as you guys are just waving into City Park. You can see that little boy Philip kind of just looking out at the duck boat and just kind of gives like a sad look and then walks away as you guys seem to float on this really awkwardly small pond. Like it's strange that they would even have a duck boat this size in a pond of this magnitude. And you start floating towards the historic stone bridge, the Langless Bridge is what it's called. And as you disappear under, this shadow kind of casts upon you, and when you emerge from the other side, you see a magical swamp. It's almost like you've been transported into this new magical world where you can see like just glowing orbs of different colors just slowly like flying around. It's in a constant state of twilight here as the foliage and dense trees seem to block any sunlight or any kind of form of moonlight in this area. And you're floating along, and while you're floating on this boat, you bump into one of your classmates that you recognize, and you turn around and you see that your friend Jameson Jorkins is aboard this duck boat with you. Jameson, would you introduce Jamie, would you introduce Jameson to everyone?
Sure. I am definitely sitting down and taking up way more space than I need to be taking up. I sit at probably like 6 foot tall, but you can't really tell because I'm sitting down. I have slicked back hair. I've got square frame glasses. I have my robes on, but they're just open, and my shirt's unbuttoned, and my tie's loose. I have my bag like sprawled out over one shoulder to the side, just being a real menace to society. And you didn't see anybody with me when I left on my duck boat.
Jameson,
Yeah, go ahead.
why are you on the floor? What? You know that's not protocol. We're supposed to stand.
You know this boat ride is super long.
Yeah, but we're supposed to stand. Are you
They didn't really say. Everybody just does it.
Jameson, you're gonna get stepped on.
I haven't got stepped on yet, so...
I hope you're not planning anything crazy this year. Last year was horrible. We all got detention.
I mean, sometimes things happen. It just there's no controlling it. Sometimes you just throw a stink bomb into the vents of the divination class and they don't find it for 3 days. What are you gonna do? I mean, they should have saw it coming. I'm just saying.
Really? I swear.
Medea, you get a flashback visual of Professor Sassafras Buttoncloak's face the day after this occurred, and when Jameson wouldn't come forward to basically the whole class got punished.
I'm not taking any more hits for you this
You didn't
year.
even know it was me till afterwards, so...
Yeah, but that you could have told me that at least I wouldn't have went to that class and I had to like dry clean my freaking road for weeks.
You never let your left hand know what your right hand's doing.
Jameson.
I'm going to introduce you guys to our first rules mechanic today when building relationships. Okay? Medea, what I'd like you to do is, Medea, I want you to roll a d20 for me. And I'm gonna say this is a character you know Jameson. So this is gonna come from a question chart that I have about people that you know. So you can go ahead and roll that d20.
Do I add anything to it or no?
Nope, just tell me what you get.
13.
13. Okay, this is a good question, and you're gonna get to tell us what the answer is going to be. So this is a positive statement about Jameson. So, question 13 says, "What magical event did the two of you experience that nobody else believes happened?"
Oh man. The two got into trouble and they actually went into they got lost within the school at one point.
Mm-hmm.
However, but we also saw one of the house guardians. We saw the Wendigo walking around.
Oh, very cool.
Didn't go back there ever again.
Never went back there. We were actually terrified. We were really terrified.
Yeah, you guys tried to tell some of your closest companions, but none of them, not a single one, believed a word you said. But you and Jameson, you know it happened. It was there. Awesome. Go ahead and roll another d20 for me. And
oh boy. 16.
16. Okay. I'm gonna give this one. I know you rolled, but the question I don't think fits your character. I think it fits Jameson more.
Okay.
So this is also a character question, but it's on the negative side. Okay. So during classes, what is one thing that you do to intentionally try to distract Medea?
Oh man. So, every class, at least once or twice, I magically make her backpack arm wrap around her leg really quick and pull it really hard.
Okay. The old
Just
magic,
to,
magic backpack trick, right?
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's fantastic. Why don't since I'm transitioning here to Jameson a little bit, why don't you go ahead and roll a d20 for me? And we're gonna go. We're gonna go on the positive side for Medea this time.
I got an 11.
An 11. What wonderful, unforgettable experience did you and this character have together, other than the Wendigo sighting.
Wonderful for both, or wonderful for like me?
I hate it.
It's more so for you because it's kind of like your question, so it's more so in your neck of the woods. You may not know it's wonderful for her, but it was wonderful to you.
So I was definitely getting the crap beat out of me one day, just like in like the dormitories. I pulled the prank on the wrong people, like the jocks, and they just came over and just started beating the crap out of me. And she ended up like turning one into a pig and like saving me from it. And that was really great to me. So I respect her.
Medea ended up, absolutely transforming one of the ringers of the Wendigo's battle pod team into a pig.
It was great.
Excellent. And that's a shared wonderful. Well, I think Medea would be pretty proud of that moment as well.
Yeah,
I would have hyped her up.
My grandfather was.
Okay. Back to Medea. Go ahead and roll one more d20 for me for this, and we're gonna take this one off the negative list for you in looking at Jameson.
Okay, 7.
A 7. This one might be a little obvious, but what ambition does this character have that scares you?
Ooh,
she doesn't even know my ambitions.
I don't. But that scares me.
You're about to know your ambitions.
Yeah, she's about to tell you what your ambitions are.
There's no ambitions.
Okay, that scares me. Can it be like I'm scared that I will never be that? Like I will never achieve what he has?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
So
yeah.
His ambition from what I see is that he is so blase blah about everything, and he can just be very comfortable with what he has, and he doesn't flaunt it. He doesn't have to flaunt it.
Mm-hmm.
I am scared that I will never be able to reach that point of confidence.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Great job, guys. This is, for those of you watching, this is part of the Kids on Brooms relationship building part, where as you're bringing your characters to the table, you get to roll onto these random tables based on what your relationships are to each of those characters. And you guys actually get to build more of like your relationships on top of one another by collectively answering these questions together. So it's a pretty cool concept. I really enjoy. It's kind of like a moment for you guys to say yes and then keep building upon those answers to those questions. Great. So you guys getting to reminisce a little bit and chat, have some small talk on your way to Weeping Terrace. Make your way, and that's when you make your way around this corner floating. And you've been floating in the boat for quite some time, and then you see it in front of you. The great ancient tree. The tree that seems to grow out of the water with these massive roots down at the bottom that seem to stem up. And at about the same point, the branches kind of all open up, and you can see embedded into the area where those branches all split apart is an enormous and beautiful vine-covered stone castle that is intertwined into the tree. It's an amazing sight to see, even though you've seen it before. Every time you come back from summer vacation, it's the same feeling, that sense of awe that you have looking at this magical place. And you float into the root systems. There's an opening, kind of like a dark, deep cave in between the roots as you disappear. And then you feel that same familiar lightness as you can feel the fluttering of wings on either side of the duck boat. And you can feel yourselves beginning to take off and fly up this center area of the tree, where then the duck boat lands in a torch-lit chamber of stone. And a few individuals are standing there with torches in hand, wearing different colored robes that you recognize from some of the various houses of your school. It looks like a lot of the professors are down here to greet you as the duck boat docks onto this stone pedestal. And you guys are able to walk down a ramp onto the stone. And the professors begin to start leading you up a large stone spiral staircase with torches lit all around. There are statues on either sides of the pedestals that are shaped like various safari animals, like elephants and hippopotami. And is that how you say hippopotamus, plural? Hippopotami?
I think so.
I
just say hippo.
Hippopotamuses.
Hippos, yeah, hippos. Hippopotamuses, giraffes, and they're all like they're sculptures, but they're moving and they're standing there and they're applauding as you guys are all walking up the steps. Oh, good day, good day. Glad you have returned. And one of the hippos like points at Jameson. Hope you're not up to any crazy tricks again like the ones I heard before. Oh,
No promises.
As these sculptures continue to like applaud you all as you head your way up to the actual main entranceway, the area of the castle.
I always love seeing the giraffes clap. Yeah, it's really good. It's the best part about coming back every year.
Medea will quickly like touch her headband and touch her robe to shift into the colors of her house. So she makes sure it's all red and white and red robe.
Awesome. So you guys actually get the opportunity to go head in, and they give you guys the permission to go head up to your house dormitory, where you guys are able to go up and get your things organized within your large kind of I always forget the name of it. It's like a large chest that you can hang clothes in, and
Wardrobe?
A wardrobe, yeah. Why do I always forget that name? It's a simple name. You guys all get like a standard like wooden wardrobe. You guys got the four post beds that have like these curtains that you can close at night, and a little nightstand next to your bed as well. Just these simple furnishings. Seems like there's 4 people to a room, and it's usually based on like this is the girls' dormitory, this is the boys, kind of like what they do in colleges and stuff like that. And you guys get comfortable, get your things unloaded. And that's when you hear the loudspeakers begin to go off, and you hear what sounds like this. Welcome back, students! What a thrill it is to walk upon the grounds again of Weeping Terrace. We hope you had an exciting but restful summer, and we are looking forward to another year of learning, adventure, and wonder here on campus. Just a few announcements for you as we prepare for our opening banquet and orientation for our first years. Please remember to exercise caution when walking upon outside grounds and common areas. It seems that Professor Halifax has misplaced an important experiment, which could or could not be one of extreme danger. If you are out and about and see anything strange, in the sense of an enormous moving plant, please report it to Professor Inkwood immediately. Please be reminded and warned that the dryads of the swamp are still very upset about the graffiti incident last year. Magical means of visual artistic expression are strictly prohibited upon the trees of the magical swamp, and should be in accordance to the skills covered in Professor Darius Willenpopper's Prestidigitation and Magical Expression class. Professor Gustav Evergreen will be filling in as our long-term substitute for astronomy this year due to the sudden resignation of Professor Candlelight at the end of last year. Please give him a warm Weeping Terrace welcome when you meet him. We are happy you are here, Professor Evergreen. Our librarian, Miss Juneberry, asks that I remind everyone of the strict policies regarding the books within the library. While it is permissible to sign books out, it is forbidden to take a book from the grounds. Students found with library books off campus or with books overdue are subject to punishments up to expulsion. She's got to be mad. Expulsion for a library book? Really? For any student found in violation, of course. First years, as a reminder, your orientation will be led by Professor Penelope Pepperdine in the common room just outside the entrance hall. Please don't be late and make sure to be dressed in proper Weeping Terrace order as we prepare for your house sorting ceremony. Once again, welcome back, students, and have a magical day. Yeah.
I just take one of the books out of my backpack that are overdue.
What's the title of the book?
Exotic plants and creatures. Of the wizarding world. I don't know. The whole.
Awesome.
I was studying at home.
Fantastic.
Sure you were.
That's so awesome. Transitioning just a bit. Terri, you've just heard this announcement. You're getting yourself unpacked and situated into your room. Will you go ahead and describe to our audience what Terri looks like, Lip?
So, Terri is how I would probably describe a living and moving grandma's attic. He has pretty much a ton of ornate stuff on this kind of top hat. He has like on his robes, inside the lining you see like dangling pieces of garlic and like some witch feathers. Around his wrist you see that there's like a rabbit's foot that just dangles. He just kind of holds all of these strange superstitious items on his body. He wears these glasses and whoever's like near his room as he's unpacking, you kind of hear him talking to himself. And as he kind of hits a certain reflection, you see that there are two, what seems to be two skeletons talking to him. One is his mother, Maud, and the other is his father, Petri, and they are arguing on his glasses while he tries to unpack things. And he's just like, "You guys, this is really embarrassing. I'm just trying to unpack and start my first day." And she's like, "Well, I told you to make sure that you have this, and I don't know why you left the house without having your proper underwear. You need to wear your lucky underwear." And he's like, "Can you please stop talking about this while I'm unpacking?" And then like the father, who's like obviously overly loving, just like, "You're gonna do great, buddy. I believe in you." And he's actually kind of sweating. The more that he sees folks around, you get a sense that he has serious, whatever phobia is out there, he probably has it.
I kind of imagine the lucky underwear being like one that they're like white with red hearts that have little wings on them that constantly like flap around.
Yep. And he told himself, "This year I'm not bringing the lucky underwear. It just gets me in so much trouble." I think different from Jameson, I think that Terri is one of the individuals who causes a lot of problems around school, but never intends to do so whatsoever. He is the accidental prankster.
Yes.
So
Accident prone.
But
it's probably held in high regard with the other pranksters of the school. Like,
yep,
he just did that and he didn't even know it, man. It's like
that situation with the plant that went awry in that one herbology class. That was him just trying to water a plant.
Excellent. So, Terri, you've gotten to meet your new roommates. As what the school does try to do is they do try to room you with different people each year, so that way you get to know new people. So they try to help you with like getting you more diversified with who you know and things like that within your house. You walk down into an area, down some stone steps, into a common room that is shared by your whole house. And you look across and you recognize an individual. You recognize Aleister across the room. Aleister, will you go ahead and describe your character within the house Avanoches as you guys are joined together in the common room?
Sure. So, he's deep into a book, and there are stacks of books next to him in this nice, like, old ornate chair that he has claimed for his own. He heard the alert, but he doesn't have to unpack this year because he never left in the first place. He just has been in the common area and like in the dorms just doing his own research. This whole, like, basically the whole summer. It's like, oh, it's that time already? Oh, okay. And he just goes back to his book. So he's, just reasonably well kept, but a little disheveled looking, since he is a little more focused on like book reading and research than like literally anything else.
Wonderful.
He sees Terri come in and he goes, oh, you might like this one. And he kind of like reaches in, points at a door nearby, the one that Terri just left, coming from the entranceway Terri just left from. That should go to the kitchen now, I think. I've been working on trying to make my walks a little more efficient. I don't like going all the way through the halls and the common area and the dorms and the library, so I worked on a few spells to maybe just go right to the library.
Oh, that is wonderful. I just you sure can you like put like a little notepad saying like where it's gonna go to next? Last time I went through the wrong door and it was a big fire and
the fire room.
Yeah.
I will make sure that I don't send you to the fire room. Just give me a heads up, and I can double check. And then I'll be like, if you don't need to go to the kitchen right now, I'll just like undo it, and now it should go back to the dorms. Should.
And just like that,
Still working on that.
Just like that, there was a fire room.
As you're doing this, the mother in my glasses looks and is just like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody who's a go-getter. That's somebody you need to keep in your life. And I was like, Ma, please just, and I just kind of pull the glasses down.
All right. At this moment, I would like for Lip, tell me, or go ahead and just roll a d20 for me, Lip, as Terri is going to receive some questions about Aleister here that we can answer together as a group.
An 8. I rolled an 8.
An 8. Okay, so this is a positive question about Aleister. How did this character cover for you when you made a big mistake?
So, it was actually in my aunt's class. I was told that we were supposed to create a vase that could predict a future, not the right future, but a potential future. And I started carving, and I saw that this image was coming to me as I was building it, and it turned out to be a big, large creature with tentacles coming out of its mouth, kind of consuming the globe as we know it. The teacher looked and was just like, oh my god, this is the worst. You're gonna completely fail this class. Alice actually looked and he's like, oh no, actually I think that he just did it upside down. And when it turned upside down, it was actually a bunny rabbit hugging a carrot. And I ended up passing that class.
It's horrible failure. Cute bunny rabbit. Oh, it's fine.
That is fantastic. Well done. Lip, go ahead and roll an additional d20 for me. And this is going to come from the character negative aspect towards Aleister.
19.
19. I don't know if this is an appropriate question or not, but I'm going to go ahead and shout it out. Let's see what you say. How far along are you in your plan to get this character removed from the school?
Well, little did Aleister know, the teacher herself, my aunt, had pre-notion, put the thought into my head that created the vase. And when the teacher saw that she foiled her plan, she's been coming into my dreams each night and kind of predicting that we would become really close friends so that I can put you in the worst possible danger. You have a teacher who's doing a very strange around the way plan to get rid of you.
Very cool.
And
very cool.
to my mind, I'm just like, well, I'm just kind of here.
So the aunt is using Terri as a means of eliminating Aleister and removing Aleister from the school. I love it. I love it. Fantastic. All right, Aleister, do me a favor and go ahead and you roll a d20 for me. And this is going to be in regards to your friend Terri over there.
I got a 12.
A 12. Let's see. Why do you feel safest when Terri's around?
Please tell me this question.
So, Terri absolutely knows what it's like to be nagged against your will, because I've 100% like seen. I don't know if I can hear his glasses, but I have definitely seen him like arguing with his parents in his glasses frequently. So like, Terri doesn't nag my character. Terri doesn't nag me at all. Like, he just kind of accepts the way things are, regardless of whatever nonsense comes out of my face.
So he's accepting and doesn't nag. That's good.
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. Go ahead and roll.
But he just wants to like you, no big deal.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me as well, Aleister. And this is going to come from the negative list of questions.
I got a 13 for the negative.
A 13. Okay. This is going to be great. I like this one a lot. What forbidden spell has this character does this character know you've been researching?
Besides when I just openly stated I was searching.
Yes.
So he knows that I've been trying to mess with spatial magic, mostly because I'm lazy, but also because it's fun.
Okay.
He definitely knows that I have split reality at least one time by accident, and I've started to figure out how to get it on purpose.
Okay. So Terri,
this is indirectly related to his aunt hating me.
Fantastic. So yeah, Terri, that is knowledge that you share with Aleister.
Yeah.
And Aleister knows that you know. And that's
a problem. I just want to make sure that I screw up this one reality, not all other realities.
Okay, so you guys get to hang out and watch in the common room and just get to share some small talk as you guys are reconvening for the school year. After this announcement takes place, eventually you start to smell the foods coming from the main chamber. The opening ceremonies are about to begin, and you head down and you can all see that your tables, your massive long tables clad in your house colors, are already awaiting with platters of magical feasts. You see large turkeys, and ham and potatoes and steamed vegetables and pies of all kinds just resting out onto the table as these awesome smells just kind of hit your nostrils. You sit down together with your houses, and you can see that there's a main table up above that has a lot of the professors sitting at it as well, all clad in their school attire, wearing the colors of their houses that they represent as well. House Avenoches, you guys do sit at your table, but you guys do also see across from you at the Draconum table sits Medea. And as you guys are heading in, you guys bump into Medea. Question for you guys, do you guys know Medea well? Do your characters know Medea? Or do your characters not know Medea very well?
I think I might know Medea in passing.
In passing, okay.
Yes.
Would you say that your relationship with her is positive or negative?
Say maybe positive.
Positive.
I think one of the things that probably happens is that she seems a bit kinder to me. I mean, obviously, with my condition in my life, there is a lot of like bullying happening. But to have somebody just kind of like not be down my neck, but just also like there to just kind of say hi, I just consider that to be like a friendly face in the class in the school.
Okay, perfect. And yours as well, Aleister? Would it be positive or negative towards Medea?
I think it would be positive. I was trying to figure out how I could make it negative, but
You're right. Okay,
Well,
I want.
you probably know the name Wild. Wild is kind of a infamous name.
Yeah, Wild is a pretty popular
what?
wizard
Actually,
name. Wizard and witch name here.
I think it would be negative.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Nightingale family has a long-standing feud with the Wilde family.
Ah, very nice.
Because of a disagreement on the methods of magic.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's not that I dislike her specifically. It's just I'm a little bit more wary
Yeah.
around what I say.
Yeah, and
the Wild family is infamous because they prefer they kind of go by all means of achieving power, whether it be good magic or bad magic. And I can see them trying to use the Nightingale family.
Ooh, very nice. Ooh. So here's what I would like Lip and Jason to do for their characters. I each want you to roll a d20. For Terry's, I'm going to pick from the positive trait list, and you're going to answer a question about Medea. And then on Aleister's side, I'm going to pick from the negative list to answer a question about Medea.
17.
17. Okay. Terry, you saw Medea do something nice for someone without making it about her. What was it?
So again, it's the same class. It's a very problematic class, but my aunt's class had a tea leaf reading, and there was a student in the class that was just having a hard time trying to get the leaves to kind of line up to get a proper reading. Also, to brew the tea, there was just a lot of fire in that class. So by the end, it was just these burnt ash leaves, and the teacher was about to walk up to the student's cup and just like ream the student. Student's name is Amelia. She cannot fail in her schooling, and she knew that if this teacher saw her, she would be in the worst trouble possible. So it seemed like we watched her. We saw Medea actually very quickly swap her cup for someone else's cup, and it swapped. That's exactly when she looked down and got a proper reading, but then she ended up taking a failing class that day because of her tea leaves. And I was like, that's pretty cool, because to try and one, you have to be pretty brave to go up against my aunt, but then two, to just say like, it's okay, I can fail today, I can afford that, but I don't want this other student to fail. It's pretty dope.
Very cool. Very cool. Nicely done. What about Aleister's roll?
I got an 18.
18. Aleister, you hurt Medea years ago. Why can't you apologize?
This question is coming from Terry.
Terry, I'm not appreciating the judgment. I am not apologizing because I don't believe I'm in the wrong.
Yes.
What had happened was her parents, her mom was specifically trying to get some of my research. And in defense of that research, she got in trouble because I would not give it up. So it did cause some harm on her end. but I don't believe I was in the wrong, so I will refuse to apologize for something I don't think is incorrect.
Well, that's fair.
That's
That's fair.
that's a good answer. Good answer to that
No
question.
problem here.
Well
She's
done.
like, I didn't do
I am
it.
gonna launch headfirst into the stubborn researcher
Yes.
trope. I don't care.
That's awesome. Very good. Over at the blue and silver clad table.
Could I do something real quick
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I was transitioning to you
Isn't that
anyway.
crazy?
Yeah.
to the first years? I'm assuming they're all sitting kind of like huddled together at the same table.
Actually, right now the first years are not in this.
Oh, they're
chamber.
not there?
You remember they had to go through like an orientation first, and they were brought into the room and like they had to stand up in front of everybody and then pop their magical balloon to see what the colors
yeah.
would be for their house. So that's how
Yeah.
they sort these houses here at this.
Will they be
Terrace.
joining us? Like, is there an area where they're gonna sit, or are they?
Yeah, they're gonna have to join the table to eat and celebrate. Yes.
I'm gonna just before they get there, I'm just gonna cast like just a quick magic to make all their food taste awful.
Okay. Beautiful.
Just a hazing, you know.
I'm gonna say this is a really simple thing you learned in like your prestidigitation class. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you probably don't need to roll or make a check like for Aleister's check earlier to change the door. Since he wasn't really sure what if he succeeded, I wasn't gonna make him roll because we'll just narratively play that out.
Yeah, I just want to haze the first years because a similar prankster hazed me when it was my first years.
Oh yeah, you gotta keep that tradition going, right? That's important to you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you're sitting at the table. You're sitting with a couple of your classmates, and you can see across to the Avenoche's table, clad in I forget their colors were purple and black, I believe, or purple and black. Yeah, you can see the purple and black table directly across from you, and you see both Terri and Aleister. What is your relationship to both of those characters?
Honestly, I probably have a negative relationship with Aleister
Okay.
because of his negative relationship with Medea.
Okay.
I probably have a positive relationship with Terri just because I don't feel like we would really run into each other. Actually, it'd probably be negative.
Okay.
It'd probably be negative. I'd probably prank him a lot previously.
Right.
Because he's so easy to prank, actually. So
would Jameson be a little jealous that Terri also downplays his pranksterness, and like maybe you feel like he's putting on a show with all this? Oh, I didn't really mean to do that, but you're like, no, you did. Something like, one of those types of things. Would you see if there was anything like that involved?
I think it's less jealousness and more like angry at the fact that he doesn't own up to his pranks.
Okay, right.
Like if
You?
it's an art.
Yeah.
And you're not
It's like Squidward and SpongeBob when like they're trying to do the skull thing. It's like you have to do this. It's like, okay, tink. It's like a flawless sculpture. It's like what?
Yeah.
How dare you not bask in your glory?
Right.
That's fantastic.
You're the chosen one.
That's awesome.
You have the power.
Okay, since we're talking about Terri right now, let's go ahead and roll a d20, Jamie, or Jameson.
All right, I got a 15.
15. What curse has Terri not recovered from yet?
His parents. Sorry, I'm muting.
Curse. Oh gosh, this one's tough.
Mm-hmm. It could be anything you come up with.
It's super interesting because I actually have that as a feature. So whatever you say,
Really a curse.
I am cursed.
Yeah, you put your curse, but you didn't put like a specific. So
It didn't say anything.
Yeah, Jamie might have your specific right here. He might have it for you.
I think the reason a lot of like things go awry is because he's cursed with like dramatically bad luck. No matter what like kind of positive things he may be wearing or like, good luck charms, they just are all nullified by just a dramatically bad luck
I like it. And that seems to fit his look and his persona as well with all these things he wears. Maybe that's one of his that's his thing. Like he thinks all these things are good luck charms and they're going to prevent.
They're actually all bad luck charms.
Yeah.
They're just adding it.
Yeah, just piling it on. That's it.
As you say that, you see me look down. I was like, "Ooh, a penny!"
Trips its head on the table.
Fantastic. Now, Jamie, go ahead and roll. This one's going to be directed towards Aleister this time, as you roll once again.
5.
5. What bad rumor about Aleister have you heard that you don't think could possibly be true?
I'm going to say it has to do with the thing that they talked about earlier where he split realities. I don't really think he could possibly actually do that because he's not strong enough.
Got you. So there's no way.
Like, I heard a rumor, just speak between people.
Okay, perfect.
And I just don't think he's as powerful as he says he is.
Awesome. That's so good. Fantastic. Terri and Aleister, you kind of catch Jameson kind of looking over at you every once in a while, getting ready to enjoy his food. Now, a question for you guys. How would you both feel towards Jameson? I don't think we went that direction yet in character relationship, so I'm trying to see if I can catch it.
I feel like my parents like him way more than I do. They definitely see like this kind of kid that like shoots from the hip. And they're very, very kind of frustrated with the fact that I don't shoot from the hip. So it's just like, be more like him. And I was like, I'm trying. It's not working out like I want it to.
So would that give you a positive or negative relationship, you think, with the way Terri views?
It's more negative in the sense that it's more strained. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of force of like, we'll learn to like him. And I was like, but I can't, it's a lot of pressure. And so like, whenever I see him, I probably am like more backing away from him.
Got you.
That's fair.
Fantastic. How about you, Aleister, when you look towards Jameson?
I have a positive relationship or opinion of at least Jameson because his novel use of spells for pranks is like, it's like when somebody uses like a new paint color that you never thought to use. It's like, that's what I was missing. That's what I got to do now. And then it'll send me off to a whole new research direction. So it's like every time I hear about, Jameson to the headmaster's office, it's like, I got to find out what he did.
That's fair.
Yeah, good.
That's fair.
So why don't you guys both roll a d20, and this is going to be your character's relationship question for Jameson.
I have an 11.
11. Okay. Terri, what do both you and Jameson hate about Weeping Terrace?
Honestly, the homework.
Yes.
The problem with it is that with every homework assignment that you have to do, your teacher, you have to summon like some sort of projection of your teacher to look over your shoulder and grade your stuff that night. So like just before bed, they have to show up and look over your homework. And each time that means that there is a teacher amongst you watching what you're doing, and that's obnoxious.
Terri, once again, you've forgotten to capitalize the first letter of that paragraph.
I haven't written
That's
it
just
yet.
how I write T's.
I purposely left it not capitalized to emphasize on the fact that that's a very quiet sentence. I don't want it to.
This is so good, so good. And last question, Aleister, what did you roll?
I rolled a 10. I keep rolling within like one number of lip every single roll for some reason, and it's just like, all right.
It's that.
It's like we're like the Two-Face mask of like
The
theater.
This question's a little deep.
Ooh.
Jameson reminds you of someone that you've recently lost or left behind. Who is it?
Aw.
It's Terri.
I had an uncle who wasn't in the same house as me, but he went to the school and he was famous for his pranks. Utterly famous. There's actually still an unbreakable curse on a wall that just yells at you as you go by. Nobody's figured out how to break it. It is his penultimate prank.
Awesome. Fantastic. You guys are all enjoying a great feast. And that's when you see the enormous wooden doors open to the feast hall. And then you recognize it. The procession of the first years. As they are following some of their professors in to the chagrin of Jameson, who is struggling to keep a straight face.
I'm clapping. Yes.
Would I have been able to see this prank kind of set itself up?
I feel like we might have like possibly caught him trying to do something, but we're not sure what yet. So I'm gonna lean over to Terri.
Paying attention, it was probably for like a lower like spell casting spell. It was just a really quick wand flick, and I put my wand away really fast.
So when I see Jameson getting giddy, I'm gonna lean over to Terri and be like, "What's the over/under on their food exploding today?"
That can't happen. Oh please! I just want one day where something doesn't go wrong, and I'm gonna try.
It's not going wrong if it's happening on purpose.
I'm just gonna try and flick my. So I don't have a wand because every time I touch one, it explodes.
Okay.
My family has put a ring to control my magic onto one hand. I'm gonna try and cast it into that area. I'm assuming because I'm cursed, it's gonna be worse than what I want it to be. But I'm gonna try and see if I can undo the magic just really quickly, and then whatever happens.
Are you gonna try to detect magic, or are you gonna try to like dispel?
I'm not even gonna try and figure out what it is. I'm just gonna try and like attempt to stop it and have the opposite happen.
Here's what I am gonna do. Jameson, I'm gonna go ahead and have you make a spell casting check. Basically, what you're doing, look at your statistics, and I want you to tell me what you think would be a good fit for your prestidigitation to change the flavor of this food. Would it be?
I would say probably brains for like the molecular compound differences.
They're all skunk butt now.
yeah, that's right.
So that's going to be a little bit less than my good ones, but
that's fine. Go ahead and
that's what makes sense to me.
Go ahead and roll that magic stat. Don't forget you're using your wand, so you add it's a magic, so you add your D4 magic die on top of it.
That's just a 9.
A 9 with the D4 on top of it.
Yeah, with the D4 and a +2.
Okay, and the way that difficulty on spells works is, I basically got to look at this. We do by a magnitude of effect. So the difficulty, could this naturally happen? Probably can. What are you exactly? Are you just trying to make it taste bad, like it's soiled or old, or are you trying to make it like
I was
taste
thinking
like
older.
different? Okay, so
No,
so I'm gonna say
older.
it's a natural effect. It could happen with food that gets old, so that's a +1 to the difficulty. Area of effect. Are you going for the whole your table? Table?
The whole first year table.
Well, see, the thing is, once they're divided in their houses, they sit among the different tables. So,
like for my house.
For your table, okay.
Yeah.
So for your table, I'm gonna say that it's a bigger than a person but smaller than a classroom. So that's a +5 on your difficulty. So that makes it a 6 so far. It's instantaneous. So that's this you want it to stay for. I'm going to say you're going to need at least a few minutes, so that's another +1. And you have cast this spell before. how many times do you think you've cast this spell before? Do you think it's like something very familiar to you, or
I've probably done this like every single year.
okay,
As-
okay, fantastic. So the
Or some
difficulty,
version of it.
the difficulty to cast this is going to be a 7. So what did you say you rolled?
I rolled a 9.
A 9. So you succeed. Not spectacularly, but you succeeded nonetheless. So you're pretty confident that your spell took hold. And Lip, your character, Terry, is going to try to dispel whatever spell happens to be upon this. So what you're going to do is without knowing dispel, a dispel would probably more so be a brains thing, I think, for you.
Because if I'm casting this to dispel something, it would probably be either like fight to like defend against it or grit.
Yeah, dispel would probably be fight. Yeah, I could go with fight. Sure. So you're going to use your fight check, okay? And you're going to add your D4 magic die.
Magic. I have. Oh wow, that's an 18.
An 18.
Jesus.
You're pretty confident that your spell has dissipated any spell that could be possibly affecting any of the food. As you watch the first years walk by in their nice parade, you can still see the look of glee on Jameson's face as he continues to stand and applaud the first years making their way. It seems like different colors of various houses, confetti is following, and that, my friends, is where our adventure will close for now.